What's up guys, and welcome to my channel Flame with a 4. In this video we are going to be doing stage 10 of Build the Ghostbusters Ecto-1. As you know, we have the magazine which has got all the 4 issues in, and in this one we're going to be doing the generator and the oil filter. So I can't wait to do that with you guys. Just going to grab out the pieces here to show you what we're going to get. And we're going to be building it onto this monster here, which is the engine. So what I'm going to do is just going to cut this open, take all the pieces out, we'll run through our parts list, and then we'll get them installed onto the engine. Cannot wait to do that with you guys. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to try something different in this one. I'm going to leave them in the packaging here, and then I'm just going to point to what they are. So you do need to flick back to the front of the magazine, and then you need to go to stage 10. Once you got to stage 10, you will need to just check off all your parts. You need 10A, which is the generator bracket support, which is going to be this little bracket support here. What I'll do is I'll actually take them out as we do them, just to show you them. So just bring that there. And generator front bracket, which is 10B, and that looks like this here. This is definitely like operation with the tweezers. Generator end, which is going to be this round section here. That's the generator end. Generator body is 10D, which is going to be, let's have a look. It's going to be, so it's not that section there. So 10D has got 2 little bits on the top of it. So it's going to be this round one here. So it looks square in there, but it's actually this round one there. 10E is going to be this shaft section here, which is called the generator inner. Generator plug, which is probably going to go on the end, is going to be 10F. And they're the 3 little ones that came in the packet. So they'll just be over here. So they're 1, 2, 3 are here. So I'll just show you. So there's one there, one there, and one there. So they are 10F. Generator pulley inner is 10G, and that is going to be the one that looks like a little spoke, which is there. And then 10H. 10H is going to be this little silver piece section, which is just there. Generator rear bracket, which is 10I, is going to be this little L bracket here. And that's actually metal, so that's cool for a little bracket. That's tiny. Right, so water pump housing is 10J, which is just that section there. Oil filter, which is going to be this massive thing here. And then oil filter head, which will be this one, with the little pipe down there. And then oil filter base is going to be the last piece, which is going to be there. And then BP, DP, EM, GP, and FM screws there, which are going to be the ones we're going to be using today. So make sure you got your screws there. You might have any left over from spare ones. If you don't, so always make sure and check that. Right, the next thing we're going to be doing is building onto the engine again. So this is going to be fun. I like doing this. It's really good. So we need to take 10A, which is going to be this section here, and this little boomerang part here has a little slider in it. We need to just connect that onto the corner piece, which will just go in there, and that's held in by an FM screw. So we're just going to grab an FM screw now, which is just here, and let's hope that we can just put that in easily and we won't need to fast forward that. That should hopefully be a nice easy section for us to do. I'm not sure if it's meant to move, but I suppose we'll find out in a second. Remember guys, don't do these up too tight. Do them up tight enough, but just don't over tighten them. It's not worth over tightening them. You just need to do them up tight enough so that so they just nip together. Because the last thing you want to do is break it. Sometimes I feel like it's going to break. Just do it up tight enough so it stays in place. So that's what it's asking us to do on that one first. So there you go. So that is the figure A now, which we've just made, which is fitting the generator front bracket, and that's the generator front bracket. So much detail going into this engine, it's unbelievable. And we need to just affix that to the engine itself. I'm just trying to check myself where it's going to go. So it's going to go at the end of the engine here, and it's just going to go onto that section there. So what I'll do is I'll attach it, and then I'll show you where it goes, okay? So there we go, guys, that is that now mounted on. So I'm just going to try and show you here. So you just got to put one of the EP screws in just there, and then there's another one that swoops around and just goes into that section there. So that is how that's held on, and you want this looped up and over and around just like that. There is a little cutout section in there that will just indicate that it's round the right way, so you make sure you can see that there. Right, let's see what else it wants us to do on this section. So what it wants us to do now is we've got to build the generator pulley. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. That is going to be built up of a few sections. So 10C, which is just this section here. We're going to put 10D into that, which should have a cutout, little cutout recess on it somewhere. So that will just sit on there like so. You will need to put through 10E into that at the back section of there, and then as I said before, there is a cutout bit on there to keep that into place. When you have done that, it's asking you to put this little silver 10H with the cog over the top of it, so you need to put the cog over the top of that. I'm not too sure if you can get it round the wrong way, but just try and follow the diagram as much as possible. And that will then go into the end section of this, which we need to just get in there until it clicks into place. There you go. And then in the end, you need to put a DP screw in. So we'll just quickly go grab one of those DP screws and just insert that into there and screw that up real quick. And then I'll show you what that should look like when it's complete. This is so detailed. Really is so detailed. So there we go. Let's just pull that out of there. Oops. Right, so then that's what it should look like at that stage. That's how that should look. So we are building the generator pulley, and then when you've done that, you do need to pop on the top these tiny little pieces. I'm just going to pop them in to place because it's easier sometimes to just pop it into place and then show you afterwards. You can use your hands, but like I said, if you are using your hands to push them in, do be careful not to break off any of these little tabs, because you won't be able to put the hoses onto them when you're done. There are a thicker end and a thinner end. The thicker end are the ones that go into the top of the generator itself. So just make sure that that's round the right way when you're doing it. It does hurt to push them down sometimes. So you'd probably be better to use the end of a screwdriver or to use the tweezers to push them into place. So we'll just be careful not to break them, guys, okay? Right, so there you go. So I'm just going to show you how that looks. Is that meant to be facing away? I don't know. It doesn't matter. You can twist them around, so it's cool. So there you go. So they are the little... I don't even know if you can see that, guys, but they are the little top pieces that are sitting on there now, which are 10Fs, and they just go in like that. Right, so the next thing it's asking us to do is to attach the bracket to the back section of the generator so we can support it. So the long piece will go on the end there, but make sure you just get your EP screw, which you're going to be putting in to put it together, ready first. So we're going to go and do that now. I'm just going to go get the EP screw and get that ready and put that into there. And then that is going to go, if we can do this, I wish you could see this a little bit better, but these parts are so fiddly, it's better to just put them in and then show you afterwards. So this little L bracket goes in here, and you just got to make sure it's parallel with the flat section, which is at the bottom of there, and that will just look like that. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's just there as an L bracket at the bottom. Next thing it wants us to do is to attach it to the engine. So we need to attach it to this side of this engine. So what we need to do is we need to attach it from the top piece, and then that will mount onto the car itself. And it's asking us to use an FM screw. So we'll grab an FM screw here. It's best to get it on the end of your screwdriver ready to go in, and hoping that this is okay. So that's too big for what I want. So we need to use something that's a little bit smaller, just like that. And then that's going to go on the outside, and then that's going to attach through there and screw into that little engine mount bracket there. So I'm just going to screw, oh, you've got to be careful because it's lifting up. So you need to try and hold it into place while you're doing it without it snapping off or anything as well. I always think something's going to snap off, so you've got to be careful. Right, so when that's in place there, you just need to move it down into position. So I'm hoping that's going to move over this way a little bit more. And that might support that to go where I want it to. Right, so that's in place, and to hold it to the engine we need to use another EP screw. So let's get another EP screw, and then let's just quickly figure out what's going on here and try and line this up. So that's now through there. So there you go, so that is how that goes on there. So if you can see it, I'm not sure if you can because of how dark it is, the screw goes down into that bracket there to hold it onto the engine, and then you just attach it to this bracket here so that that's held on there. So that looks great. So what we need to do now is we need to build onto the top section. So what it's asking us to do is to attach this piece with GP screws fitting the water pump housing. So the water pump housing goes on the front of the engine here. So there is a little recess cut out on that as well. What we'll do is we will slide that into position there. And then we need to get some GP screws. We just need to check which one fits at the end of that, okay. Which will be this one, that's fine. And just attach that. So just going to go and attach this with the 4 GP screws. So there you go guys, that is the fitting of the water pump housing. So that just goes in here. I'm not too sure if you can see that again with the light in there. But there's 4 screws that just go in there, and they are GP screws. It does show place the water pump housing 10J on top of the cooling system, securing in place with 3 GP screws. But I'll put 4 in there, but we have to take one out. That'll be fine. But it's only asking for you to put 3 in there. But I've just put 4 in there for now. If we need to take them out, at least we know that the GP screw goes in there, and then we can take that out anytime. Okay, now this is why we don't put that 4th one in, because we are going to put the next section in and hold that in with that screw. So we can just quickly take that GP screw out, which won't take too long to do anyway. So it's fine. And just quickly tip it out. It'll be in there somewhere. There we go. There it is. Okay, so that's got to go back in, that GP screw, in a second. Okay, so the GP screw doesn't go in there. A BP screw goes in because it's longer, and I guess that's going to hold that all into place once we've built this next section up. So again, be careful. Make sure you watch the video first before we do it. We need to build up section. We need to make this section here. So we want to take 10L. That will just go into the top of there to make the cap, and then this will go on the back section here, and then we need to secure it into place with a DP screw. So a DP screw is just here, so we're just going to pop that in the bottom there. I'll just quickly do that up with this nice thick screwdriver. We'll just do that up, and then we'll just show you what that looks like all together. And then this is assembling the oil filter. So it would be nice if we had a little oil cartridge in there. I know we can't see it, but it would have just been a nice little touch. But there you go. So that is assembling the oil filter section there. And then we need to make sure that that goes on to that water pump section. And we need to attach that with a BP screw just at the top, which we have ready to go. I'm going to pre-put it in the hole. Should go in nice and easy as we already had the GP screw in place. Just start to put it in, move it around where it's got to go in the position it's got to go in. Okay, don't want to do it too tight. It looks like we're going to probably attach something onto there at a later date, but that is now the oil filter section, as you can see there. And then that is what it's got to look like at this stage. So yeah, so this is what it should look like at the last final stage. This engine is absolutely fantastic. I do really like this. It's looking like an absolute beast of a machine. So there you go. Guys, if you are building this as well, please put down in the comment section below how you're getting on, if you're really enjoying it, if you think it's going together really well. It'll be nice to hear your opinion as well. So thanks very much, guys, for watching. Can't wait to get the next 4 issues. So I'll see you then. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.